Krista Norris here from Shape Your World Coaching. I hope you're having an amazing weekend, a very happy Sunday, and that all is well. I'm coming to you from South England. I'm at my next house and pet sitting location, just shifting how I'm recording this, so hopefully it's not too dark. It's a bit late where I am at this time, and I've got lights behind me, but yeah, hopefully that's not too distracting. And it's kind of funny because I actually recorded a Sunday sermon for all of you earlier today, and it went amazingly. It was so good. And then as I was transferring it to my laptop so that I could edit it and then upload it, literally one of the dogs I'm taking care of, sweet thing, he was just with his tail, or maybe he brushed up against it. Anyway, the cable that was attaching, because I record this on my mobile phone right now, and then I was uploading it to my computer for the editing process, and he knocked against the cable that connected my phone to my laptop, and literally the video just disappeared, completely disappeared. And I haven't been able to find it. So I'm re-recording, and yeah, I hope you get good stuff from it, and I hope that this can offer some insights, some I hope helpful ways to look at things, and maybe some inspiration for you too. This week I felt very, very guided to talk about a few things. And one of them has to do with the ways that we show up and that we show and we feel and we experience love for ourselves. So in our bodies, in with our energy, and how that translates and comes out and is affected by and also affects the ways that we also show up in the world. So our behavior patterns, the choices we make, the choices we choose not to make, and or the things we pass on instead of going forward with, and how all of that really does help indicate for ourselves our own levels of love, as well as the layers and ways in which we feel self-respect. Respect for ourselves, respect for who we are, what we are, the ways we feel, and our own personal choices in the world, and our dreams as well. How do we want to go forward? What would we like to do for our lives? Sorry, I'm just moving here. Let's get a bit better. And how do we want to show up in the world as well? There's something really magical that happens when we are able to be so comfortable and so confident within ourselves, in our bodies, in our own skin, that nothing stops us from living our dreams. Nothing and no one is able to stop us from going forward in a way that works for us. And what that means when there are things or circumstances going on around us that may seem to contradict that, or might go against what we would like for ourselves. I had a really interesting experience earlier this week. Again, I'm now in South England for my current house and pet sitting. And just before this, I was in Brussels visiting. I went there specifically so that I could see one of the families who I've also house and pet sat for, as they're an American family and they're going back to the US. So that was my last opportunity to see them all before they went. And while I was in Brussels, I stayed with a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And it was very interesting. I tend to, as much as I can, make sense of things if I'm ever wondering, oh, I wonder what happened there. I wonder what went a little bit off there, or if if I'm ever confused or anything like that, I tend to look at things as logically as I can, and to try to figure out what may have happened. And it was very interesting because this friend of a friend of a friend of a friend was someone who I only knew during my stay. I didn't know them previously, and they're from Lebanon. And there were a few, yeah, a few things I said that actually really offended me, that I found to be very inappropriate, and did offend me. And it's interesting because there can be elements of, cultural differences. So differences in communication styles, differences in ways of seeing the world. And there can be differences in social norms, social mores, of what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. And, even with thinking about all of that, and even with, going through it in my mind, and so on, looking at the situation in different ways, they were offensive towards me. There's no way I can cut it any differently. And it was interesting for me because, well, for a few different reasons, and one of them I'll share with you because it feels very pertinent to what I mentioned earlier about, the ways in which we can feel love within ourselves, love towards ourselves, and how that affects and can be reflected by the level of self-respect we have for ourselves. Where are our boundaries? Do we have firm, loving boundaries? Do we feel that we have to take on things that maybe aren't actually ours in the first place, and so forth? And in this situation with that, staying with that person in Brussels, what I have realized is, and it's so beautiful, I'm so grateful for having this reflected back to me, is I've been reminded about the beautiful state I am in my life and in my world right now, and how it is so different from where I've been previously in my life. And when I think about past patterns, past experiences, past lives as well, parallel lives and so forth, and how grateful I am to be in my skin, to be comfortable with who I am, to have this level of confidence that I have about and for and with myself and my life and my choices. And, to love myself this much, to love myself so much that I know what my boundaries are. I know what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And I have no problems asserting myself at all when it comes to those things. And I'm so grateful to be where I'm at. When I do think back to other situations I've been in and so forth, there was definitely a part of me that wanted to please others, for one thing. And and it's also something that I know from talking with other women friends, women family members, ex-work colleagues, as well as, some of my amazing clients who I'm so grateful I've been able to help. And there seems to be a thing that can happen as women. Now, that I'm not saying that this doesn't happen to men. I'm sure men experience things like this as well. I can only share my experience as a woman and the conversations I've had with other women. And from my perspective as a woman, and from things I've seen with other women, there tends to be this, it can be unconscious, it can be conscious, but there tends to be this thing that a lot of women grow up with as little, from the time we're little girls onward, about wanting to be nice to others, being a good girl, being a good helper, things like that. And this people-pleasing aspect this people pleasing way of looking at the world and viewing ourselves can sometimes have effects that we don't always anticipate at the time. And one of them, one possible effect, because obviously we are all individual beings, so this is a generality, and there are exceptions to every generality. But something that can tend to happen on occasions is that when we have a place and a space within us that wants to be good, that wants to be nice, that wants others to like us as well, be seen as a good helper, and so on, there can be a message that comes across, which is that others' needs are more important than our own. Again, this is something that is a generality. There are exceptions to everything in our world, and it's also something that, chances are the ways in which we can get those messages, or if they come via people or magazines or whatever it is, I highly doubt that those sources of that message mean for it to come across that way. I really, really, I hold most people and organizations and so on. I always look at it. I always look at all of these things actually with a bright wand. I like to give others the benefit of the doubt, and obviously until any of us has proven that actually, yeah, let's put our boundary up right there. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because we can always have boundaries with others and send them on with love, which is what I do. Send them on with love and just know we're not meant to be together in this life, and that's okay. We're not meant to connect as friends or anything else, and that's okay. But even within that, I really do feel that the majority of people or organizations that give these messages, and oftentimes it does get given to girls and to women as we grow older, that it's important for us to put our needs above others' needs above our own. I really do feel that the majority don't mean to be doing this. But the end result is there. The end result is there, is that this is a really common experience. Many women have. And it is something that gets talked about quite often as well as we grow older. This feeling of, what about my needs? And not wanting to be a doormat and wondering what happened. What went wrong? You could say, or it might feel that things have gone wrong, and wondering, what can we do to change this? What can we do to fix it? Now, again, this is not limited just to women, I'm sure. I'm very, very positive men have similar things that they can go through in their lives. Again, I can only speak from my experience as a woman and from speaking with other women. But there does come this point of wondering, okay, well, I'm in this space, I'm in this world, and I know that feeling that I need to put others above myself is not necessary. It doesn't fit or match me. It doesn't feel good. So what do you do with that? How can you go forward? One of the ways you can go forward is to know and to recognize that you don't want to be doing those things anymore. That is an incredible, empowering first step. It may seem simple, it may seem a bit obvious, but the thing is, just that realization is not something that everybody gets to. Just having that realization and the conscious awakening of, you know what, I don't want to be doing these things anymore. I don't want to be putting other people's needs above my own. I don't want to be, for instance, as a mother or in the workplace or anything else, I don't want to be feeling like, um, my needs aren't as important as others. It's no joke. It's gotten to the point, honestly, it's gotten to the point where for some people I know, and I've literally had conversations with people about things like this, where people put their own basic needs beneath others. Things such as needing to go use the bathroom, the toilet. I mean, honestly, it gets to that level sometimes of people, and obviously I'm again speaking from a woman's perspective, but I've had this conversation with more than one person. And where things like, even just going to use the bathroom, thinking, oh, I'll be fine. I'll just go do this first. Or they need something from me, so I'm going to go do that. And then I'll go take care of my needs. And that's ridiculous. When you think about it, that is really silly. Because then you end up like bursting, when if you had just gone to use the bathroom, toilet, you would be fine. You'd be fine. And no one would blame you. No one would be like, oh, I don't know, maybe you should have waited to go use the bathroom. Whatever. Of course, go take care of your needs. That's important. Right? But it happens so often. And that's just one example of the ways in which we can grow up with these messages of, I need to be good, I need to be a good helper, it's important for people to like me, to be nice. And messages like those can have the effect, again, not always, there are exceptions to every rule, but there can be these messages that we get fed of the overarching message being others needs and wants and wishes are more important than how we feel, than what we want, what we would like to do, and how we would like to show up in the world for just ourselves. And being able to move through that, to release the places and spaces that feel like others are more important than we are, and that our own levels of self-respect are not as important. Being able to move through those things is so empowering, is so incredible, and so freeing also. When I had that experience earlier this week in Brussels with the person who, in hindsight, they were being rude. They were being totally inappropriate, whatever culture you're in. And I'm so grateful that I am confident within myself, that I'm so comfortable in my own skin, and that I know myself as well as I do, to realize, yeah, I do deserve better. I do deserve better than that. Whatever country you're from in the world, and, whatever experiences you had growing up and so forth. And, and I know also that they recognized that they were being rude because they actually apologized to me later. And yeah, and it was more than one thing that they did. But anyway, the point remains that, it's so empowering when you can realize that actually you do deserve the best. And actually there's nothing wrong with that. And actually having love for yourself and having high standards for what you would like to experience, and how you would like to be treated by others, and how you would like to show up and be received in the world, it is directly tied to and has a direct corollary with the level to which we respect ourselves, to the ways that we see us. How comfortable do we feel in our bodies, in our energies, in our own skin, with our life decisions, with what we do in this world, what our, our work is, what kinds of relationships we have, being comfortable with who we are at our cores. And it's also tied to our boundaries and having firm, loving boundaries, knowing that we deserve the best. And when things happen, or if someone says something or we're treated in a way that doesn't match up to that ultimate vision of, this is what we do deserve, which is the best. When there's anything that doesn't match up to that, it's also having the confidence to know that we can stand up for ourselves. We can say, this isn't good. We can do better. Let's do better. And if it's another person or other organization or whatever who isn't able to do better for us, it's also having that confidence to say, that's okay. I'll send you on your way. I'll send you with love. But I'm not going to continue to be a part of the status quo because it's not working. And it's important for us to recognize and to realize that having these standards and having these firm, loving boundaries, it's okay also. That is also okay. And, the more that we can shine our light, the more that we can show and show up in the world knowing that we are worthy of the best and that we love ourselves so much and this much that we won't put up with stuff that isn't worthy of us. When we do that for ourselves, we're also helping others who see how we are, who experience, either through us sharing with them or telling them about it or whatever it is, that we do have these firm, loving boundaries because we do know what we deserve, which is the best, and that we are worthy of the best. Others will see that. Others will hear about it and recognize within, themselves that they deserve the best also. And, and they'll begin to feel more confident to look at the ways that they can bring more love into their lives, look at the ways that they can feel more love towards themselves. And along with that, more self-respect. And realizing that it's okay to make sure that we receive that level of love, appreciation, and respect from others as well. And, and it has a knock-on effect. It ties into the butterfly effect. It ties into the domino effect. It ties into social dynamics, which is another way to explain how we as human societies work. We are influenced by those around us. We see what works. We see what doesn't work. And it helps us to then make decisions for ourselves going forward. And, and it ties to this situation as well, and what we're talking about today, which is, what areas do you feel loved? How and in what areas are you showing yourself that you are loved? Do you feel loved in your body? Do you honestly, when you can you be very, very honest about it? And can you say, honestly, that you love yourself? And if not, why not? If not, what's stopping you? And if it's a place or a space where it would help you to get support with that, are you willing to take that step up for yourself? Because until you do, things are going to keep going and keep happening in a way and in a form that doesn't work for you anymore, that doesn't feel good, and no longer serves you or your higher purpose, which is to heal, which is to be your most shining, bright, incredible you, which is to achieve your dreams, and which is to heal and release all the spaces and places that don't feel that you are worthy of this highest good. Or maybe don't feel confident that it will come to you. Or don't feel confident within yourself. It's helping all of those parts to be healed, to release and be able to move on from the reasons why they're feeling a lack of confidence or uncertain about things. And it's also all about, once we do that, to then be able to really welcome in love in all her aspects, all her forms, and knowing that in doing all of these things, we are also showing ourselves self-respect also. And again, we will be helping others to know that they can do that for themselves as well. I hope that this has given you some good food for thought. I hope that it may be a help for you, if there are areas and spaces in your life, in your world, in your business, in your relationships, the way you feel about yourself that doesn't match up to what you would like to be experiencing. If there's any ways or any spaces where you don't feel worthy of receiving the ultimate best in life, the highest amounts of love. If there are any areas or spaces that feel that you're not confident about putting your needs as number one, as the priority. I hope all of this helps just to get some food for thought for you. And if there, is anything where you have a question with any of this, or you're recognizing that, yeah, actually, maybe that is an area that's important for me to begin to make progress with for me in my life. If you're starting to have those sorts of thoughts, please know that, you don't have to do it alone. None of us has to do anything alone. And we are all supported in so many ways. You are supported every day, always. There are people like me. There are many others out there in the world as well. And, whether it's with me or anyone else, I encourage you to know that you deserve that support, that it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to do everything on your own. You don't need to. None of us does. And yeah, so I hope that helps. I hope it gives you some food for thought, just some things to think about and reflect on. And the more that we do this, the more that we each recognize, the more that you recognize the areas and the spaces where you deserve things to be better than they have been. And, when and if there are areas and spaces where you would like a bit of help, a bit of support, feel confident within that. Know that it is okay to move forward. And you are always supported every single step of the way. Always. I'm sending you so much love, everyone, and I'm thinking about you. One of the ways that I am here to help in the world, to be a help to all of you, is also through, I do one-to-one sessions. There are workshops coming up in Europe, and there will be more in the US next year. And I'm sensing places like Canada and Mexico as well. And I am available to help in so many ways. I work with one-to-one clients all over the world. So, wherever you are, don't feel that your needs will be unsupported. And again, whether it's with me or anyone else, we live in such an international, connected world right now that we can receive support online and so on. And these things honestly really do work. The reason why I have trained in everything that I have trained in is that I received those specifically to help me over the years in my own journey. And I know how much these things help, everything I've been trained in, and then obviously as well the modality that I've received from Source and my spirit team also. And one of those is beautiful, incredible, powerful Venusian healing, Venusian love, and it's an energy activation. It's a way of connecting you to that ultimate source of love and all the places and spaces within you that need that. that would like it. And, the more, again, the more that we connect with love, the more we allow ourselves to literally feel the energy of love and to really be able to welcome that in and to clear and heal all the spaces and places that may be blocking love. Whether it's due to feelings of not being worthy or not being confident enough about that love, not feeling confident within yourself, worries and blocks and so on. We can literally at times block our ability to welcome in love. And the Venusian love energy activations that my Venus guides send through me. One of my gifts is that, again, I am a natural channel, and so when I connect with the energies and spirits of these higher beings, what they do is they literally send that powerful, incredible, empowering love energy through my body, and it goes out through me to you. And this energy, it's incredible. It feels amazing for me doing it and sharing it with all of you. And the feedback from others has been amazing as well. And I'm so grateful for all of it. And what it means as well when we connect with those incredible, expansive levels of love, basically it acts like a supercharged booster for everything and anything you would like to do or to achieve. Love is one of the most expansive energies in our world. It's incredibly powerful. It makes, when you're working with the law of attraction, manifesting things, working on your dreams, taking steps forward, essentially it's like putting a rocket fueled jetpack booster on all of our intentions, and with and helping with all of the steps we take going forward. So I have an offer for all of you. I will share more details about that in the video description. Have a look for that. And it will be a way so that with whatever you're working on in the world, you can connect with that amazing, powerful Venusian energy of love as well. And it will be there for you, and it's in a downloadable MP3 format. So you can take it with you. You can listen to it on your laptop, your phone, iPad, whatever you choose to download it to. And, whenever you're doing things like visualizing or meditating, or, just during your daily routine, maybe before you go to bed, you can listen to this, and it will activate even more strongly everything you wish for, and move you towards your dreams like never before. So I hope that it is a help to you to know about this as well. And we have so much support available to each and every one of us all the time. It surrounds you all the time. There are so many tools available, so many incredible souls who are here to help you with, wherever you are in the world, whatever it is you're working on, whatever obstacles you have, whatever you've been through. Again, we never need to do things alone, and you don't need to either. I hope that all of this has been a help to each and every one of you, and I'm sending all of you so much love. If you have any questions, please never hesitate to get in touch. It has been amazing for me to receive the questions that I have so far from all of you incredible people on my YouTube channel, and in the comments to each of these videos. Thank you so much again for all of these. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, because I love interacting with all of you. And it means the world to know that all of these are being a help to you as well. Another way you can connect with me is via the Facebook group that I host. There are loads of freebies there. I have a lot of resources that I create all the time for each of you. Every Friday, we do live cast videos where I tune into your energies. I receive messages for you from and with my spirit team source, as well as connecting with your energy and your spirit teams as well. And all you need to do is sign up to be a part of the Facebook group, and you get instant access to all of these things, as well as any other offerings that I make and programs that I share with each of you there. In the future, you will be the first to hear about it as well. And another way that I connect with all of you and I'm so grateful to be doing, all of these things, is via the group meditations that I do. These are at the start of every month. They've been going since January this year, when I felt very, very guided to by Source and my spirit team. And these are, there's a suggested donation for your participation, and showing of your appreciation for what I'm sharing with you as well. And again, it's a suggested donation, so whatever feels right and good for you. And we have our next one on July 2nd. So that's coming up tomorrow, Sunday. I'm recording this early. So, I hope that all of you can join us, and it will be amazing to connect with you there. These really, really are incredible, transformational, super powerful and empowering group meditations. They generally go around an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And I never know how they're going to end up. We really do follow the energy with all these things, as I do with everything I do. I love to follow the energy. That's how I work with my clients and in groups as well. And it means, that I am being open, much more open for you as well, when we do follow the energy this way. And all of you who take part in the group meditations, not only will it be a help for others, the title of the meditations are Sending Love to Heal Our World. And, we join together, we send love to heal our world. Again, love is one of the most expansive energies in our universe, in our existence, and it supercharges everything. It's an incredible energy to connect with and to share with others. At the same time as sharing this with others and sending love out to heal our world, simply by virtue of you being a part of it, you will benefit from it as well. And this is part of what's going on, is that, again, we are amazing individuals, specific, unique, wonderful beings. At the same time, we are also all a part of our collective consciousness whole. So that is where whatever we send out, we also receive. And yeah, so I hope that you can join us on the 2nd as well. And there will be a replay available. And again, just with a suggested donation. Whatever works for you, really. It's just a suggestion, but you can share whatever works for you with that donation. And the donation also goes towards fees, future fees. We will be shifting the group meditations so that not only will they be continued to be streamed live, but I'll also be doing these live and in person. So every donation helps so that I can share this amazing experience with all of you, with our world, on an even grander scale. Okay, I am sending you so much love, everyone. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments to this video, or you can send me a private message or an email. You know how to get in touch. And I am here to help all of you. Again, remember, none of us needs to do anything in life alone. And you are supported every single step of the way. Know that you are worthy of love, of the highest power, most expansive, and know that you deserve the best. And you deserve, and it's okay to demand the best as well. And we can do it in a loving way. We can do it in an assertive way rather than aggressive. And, know that when you do all of that, you can also do it in a very powerful and empowered way also. I'm sending you so much love, everyone. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for connecting. And know that you truly do have the power to create your own destiny. Shape your world, everyone. Shine your light. Be true to you. We need you to. Thank you. Mwah. All the best, everyone. Bye.